Welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are going to be working on a bookmark holder that you will be able to put on any book that you like. If you have seen my other videos, this one is going to be different from the actual pen holders that have clips. So it is going to be different, especially on the sizes of patterns as well. This is the pen holder one, and the bookmark one on the back is a little bit wider, so you can see that there is a difference. So for today we're going to be working on the bookmark one, and I'm receiving 3 pieces if you purchase the pattern on my Etsy shop. And it's going to be an easy and fun tutorial here that we're going to be working on. Again, you can modify it to whatever size you like, and all you have to do is just follow the steps that I do with your own modifications of sizes. So as you can see, my book is 11 inches and I'm using a 15-inch elastic. So the elastic is going to be different depending on the book that you want to use it. I'm going to go ahead and just insert the pen so you can see. You can fit up to 4. You can even make it wider, shorter to fit 1 or 2 pens. It is up to you. So here we go. Hopefully you like this tutorial, and let's jump into it. Here are the materials that we're going to be using. We are going to be using 2 pieces for the bookmark holder. I have my 1 piece for the interfacing and 1 piece for the bookmark holder, which is a little bit bigger than the 2 pieces that we have here. And if you are to purchase the sewing pattern, this is what you're going to be getting from my shop, just the 3 pieces here. As for the elastic, I am using a 15-inch elastic because I'm using a big notebook, like I said. And so for this part, you can actually modify the size of the elastic to whatever size you like, depending on the size of notebook that you use. Again, I am using a 15-inch 3/8 elastic. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the first step. Grab one of my small pieces and I'm going to turn it around so I can add my interfacing to it. Now the interfacing will allow you to give a little bit more sturdiness into your bookmark holder. I'm going to be using the rough side down, and I'm going to be placing it in the middle. And as you can see, there's still opening all around within your fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and just press it down. You can press it down about 10 to 12 seconds, making sure that it stays put on the fabric. And again, the interfacing, if you want to use a little bit more, like a little bigger piece, you can. This piece actually helps out when I'm going to be sewing it around. And like I said, I only want the sturdiness in the middle, which is where the pens or pencils are going to be. Okay, so now that that's put, I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to grab my piece and I'm going to be folding it in half because I want to try to get the middle. And you want to just cut just a tiny bit. You do not need to cut a big piece. Just a little bit right there. And the same thing on the bottom. Just a little piece on the bottom. Okay, and this will give us the center point of where we need to put our elastic. I have my elastic. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place it right down the middle of where I had made my cut. And I can go to the sewing machine right now and sew it down. Okay, you can do a couple of times back and forth. And then once you do that, then you're going to grab the other side and you're going to be placing it as well right down the middle of where you made that cut. And you're going to go to your sewing machine and sew a couple of times back and forth as well. You want to make sure that it's nice and sturdy so that when you do tend to pull on whatever notebook you're going to be using, you want to make sure that it doesn't come off. So let's go to our sewing machine and I'm going to sew on both sides. So as you can see, I already did a couple of times back and forth. I want to make sure that it's secure, like when I pull it, that it won't break off. So next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to place it in the middle here, because the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be grabbing our big piece. This is the big piece, and I'm going to be folding it in half. Okay, so in half. The edges have to coincide with one another. So make sure that it's even on both sides. And then I like ironing it down so I can have a nice crease on the top. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place it on the top here. And this is pretty much going to be our pocket. That's your pocket right there. So again, you can always modify by making it your own size of pattern. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clip this down, and then I'm going to grab my other piece and I'm gonna place it right on top, and again make sure that all of the edges coincide with one another, and I'm gonna clip it. And I clipped it. Now just make sure that when you are clipping it, you clip it where the pocket starts. So where your pocket is, that's where you're going to be clipping it here on the bottom, because then we're going to be leaving a little bit of space so we can be able to actually pull it out afterwards from here. So just make sure that when you are sewing, you can start sewing from right here all the way on the bottom, go around all the way around here, and then stop here where your pocket starts. Okay, because we're gonna make sure that that is sewed on there pretty good. All right, so let's go to our sewing machine. And I already sewed it. Remember to make sure to keep sewing where the pocket starts. Don't stop it before it. It has to be afterwards. We want to make sure that the pocket is sewed on there. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to each of my corners, and I'm just going to cut off a tip. Make sure not to cut where you had already stitched. And that way it's not that bulky when we turn it around. So now that we already cut our edges, let's go ahead and now we're going to turn it around in that little opening that you made, and you're going to turn it around where you see the elastic. So where you see the elastic, that's where you're going to turn it around. I'm going to go ahead and push out all of the corners. And I gave myself enough space to be able to actually turn it around. You can do a smaller hole. It does not have to be that big. And then in each of the corners, then you can go ahead and you can push it out by using a toothpick or scissors or whatever you have in order for it to be poked out. Okay, so there we go. Poking out each corner. And turned it around, and as you can see, we wanted to make sure that the pocket is sewed, because if it's not sewed, you will not be able to push it in to be able to actually sew this opening here. So it's better to sew all the way down, at least a few inches down from the pocket, so that will be easier for you to then stitch up this opening here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to iron it down so I can have a nice crease. And I'm going to then stitch up that opening that I got. So I'm going to clip it. And now to give it a nice look, you're going to stitch up all the way around your bookmark holder. So you're going to go all the way around on the edge to give it a nice look. Let's go to our sewing machine. Make sure that when you are sewing, you want to try to keep the elastic away from the stitching part. So make sure that when you are sewing, you're going to go all the way around, but making sure that you do not put the elastic in here anywhere. Right, and voila, there you go. You have a cute little bookmark. Now, again, with the elastic, you can use your own measurement, whatever size you like, and depends on the notebook that you are using. The notebook that I have is 11 inches, which is why I cut mine 15, and it's perfect. And you can even put it right here all the way at the edge. And then you have your pen, pencil, and there you go. I'll be linking down below where I got the pens from. It's another small business, and she even customized them as well. And then the planner, I actually also got it at another small business, and she customized the front as well. But there you go. There you have it. So you can put in another one since it kind of seems like a little bit loose. You can put another pen as well. So you can put in whatever you like in there, but there you go. I hope you like this quick and easy tutorial. Again, the pattern is going to be on my Etsy shop, and if you purchase it, you will be receiving three rectangles, the extractions. All right, so hope you like it, and hope to see you for the next one.